Hello and welcome, you beautiful bookish people. Today I'm really excited for this video because I'm going to be reorganizing my entire bookshelf, which I have not done this since we moved into this place back in April of this year. So it's kind of due for a refresh because I've gotten so many new books. I've honestly kind of rearranged it a couple times since April just because I like to put the books that I have read and the books that I love in my main portion of the shelf. But I think I'm going to try to revamp the whole thing because right now I only have all of my books facing spine to spine. And honestly, I like that because sometimes when you face books out, it can look a little weird. You angle them and it can look like you're trying to do too much. But I am running out of space because I have a shelf for all of the books that I'm selling on Pango Books. And I also have a shelf of books that it's kind of my physical TBR, but some of my physical TBR is kind of spread out because I do have a fairy loot section and a sprayed edge section on there. But I put out all of my Loungeflies on the shelf because it was filling in some of the space, but I'm considering moving my Loungeflies to a different wall. So I kind of want to figure out if I can fill these two shelves and make it look pretty still and display some of my favorite books, because I always want my favorite books to be in the background of all of my videos, and I want to display the things that I love, obviously. And I know that you can't see every single book back there, but it's just nice to have them in the background. And I have a few ideas, but obviously if you think of something while you're watching this and you're like, Brooke, you should have done this, please tell me, because I want these to look as beautiful as possible. And yes, I do like to be creative. Obviously, this is creativity, is video creating and being a content creator. But I sometimes have a very rigid way of thinking, and I'm very methodical. And I mean, to give you an example, math and science were my favorite in school. I liked the formulaic part of it. So sometimes I get stuck in trying to make something new, and I have a feeling it's gonna be a little similar to what I have on the shelf now, but we're gonna try regardless. This is seriously one of my favorite books on my entire shelf. This is the Fairy Loot edition of A Dance of Lies, and I think it speaks for itself. My little brother wrote this book. I have it on my shelf. Look how cute he is. Now that I have all of my books laid out, this is actually kind of crazy to look at because I mean, for some reason, like if I look at my bookshelves behind me and all of my books are on there, it like obviously it looks like a lot of books, but I feel like when I just dump them on my floor, it makes it look like I have so much more than I thought because they're all like spread out. I don't know. I'm feeling weird. It's like actually really exciting though, because coming from 2023 to not reading anything to picking up ACOTAR in October of that year, and then now this, not even about 2 years. Oh my God, this has been 2 years. I've been reading for 2 years. Well, okay. I've been reading for longer than that. I've been able to read since I was young. That's beside the point. My point is, all of my reading journey stuff started about 2 years ago, and I just hit 10K on Instagram, which is actually so crazy. And I'm incredibly grateful for what I get to do with this opportunity and how my stuff has grown over the past 2 years. I didn't start posting consistently until the beginning of this year, so now like, I don't know why I'm getting all sentimental all of a sudden, but I need to start thinking about how I want to organize all of this. I feel like I'm still gonna keep my shelf on the bottom for the books that I'm going to sell. And now here is kind of the tricky part. I want to do a whole shelf like across, maybe on the top, maybe on the middle, I don't know, of Throne of Glass. I want that to be one thing because I previously did it on two parallel, yeah, I guess parallel, two stacked shelves, and Guppy really wants my attention. You want to say hi? Do you get that? Anyways, I want to do a full spread because I feel like that's going to give me more space on my one shelf, I guess, to spread out the books that I also love, because I think my SJM stuff took up 3 shelves, which I mean, rightfully so. But I think I put most of my books on this shelf because my corner that I like to film in is right over there. And so I have it in the background. And granted, when I'm filming my YouTube and stuff, you can see all of my shelves and all of that. But when I'm filming my short stuff, all you can see is this. So I'm kind of going back and forth. But I think I still want to kind of stick to organizing by author because there's no way that I'm going to organize by genre because basically all of these books are fantasy romance. That's really the only thing that I read, with the exception of a few dystopian books, but that can be argued that it's some sort of fantasy. So there's no way to do, I know a lot of people do like a really cute romance side and then a fantasy side, and it looks really cute because there's like a bunch of pink and colorful books, and then the other side it's like very dark and moody, and I love that, but also like I can't do that. And I really should have thought about this before I took off all of my books because now they're all scattered. No. Oh my God. Guppy, help me. I'm gonna be so honest with you right now. I don't know if it's gonna stay like this because here's the problem. I think I might leave this little spot open if I want to add some smaller series. But the problem is, if to make this look good, I feel like the books need to be the same height. So maybe I'll just get like a fancy book end or something. But that's what I was thinking for this one. If I keep the series in the middle over here and I get bookends or something, just to make that like, give it its own moment. You know what I'm saying? I honestly think that's a good start. And I thought about trying to put ACOTAR up here as well. Actually, I don't think I'll be able to squeeze it in. I think it's gonna be too big for that, especially since I have 2 editions of Silver Flames. Maybe I should just start thinking about my favorite series and go from there. Because now that I have Throne of Glass up, which obviously is my all-time favorite series, if I put City of Gods and Monsters, Daughter of No Worlds, and oh, I need to leave a space for Lady of Darkness, but I don't have the full series yet. I was gonna say I do have all of the Legacy series, but there's one more book that's gonna come out. So maybe what I need to do, let me see if I can fit Daughter of the Worlds, Legacy series, Lady of Darkness, and then maybe try to put like Crescent City, ACOTAR, and City of Gods and Monsters together. I feel like that's a good game plan. Internally, I'm screaming right now because I had to turn on the big lights because it's getting too dark in here. I want to be a vampire. I don't want to have to turn on the big lights. I feel like I'm stumped right now because here is the problem. This series is not complete. This series, I don't have all the books. This series is also incomplete. And this series has 9 books, more than too many books. And I only have 2. So this shelf probably won't last longer than maybe a few months. And you know what? Honestly, I'll deal with it for now because it looks cool having all of the like covers dark and then like the bam ACOTAR. But I don't know what to do for over here because here's the thing. I love Crescent City with my whole heart. I don't want to subject it to being in this little teeny tiny corner, but I gotta do something. And my problem is if I like do this, which I guess I could, it's not my favorite, and also I don't know what to put here. I need something that's this height to put over there that makes sense, and I don't think I have anything. I could be totally wrong. I could be missing something right now. Maybe I need to regroup. Maybe I just need to sit down and like spread out all of my books even more on the floor just to see what I have. Because sure, they're all fantasy, but they all have different vibes. So like, I probably wouldn't put The Night Ends with Fire with City of Gods and Monsters. I probably wouldn't put Heavenly Bodies on the shelf either. I probably wouldn't put like Rachel Gillig on that, or Dance of Lies, or like anything like that. So this kind of goes with this, but it's not the same height. So I don't want to put it here, but I'm thinking maybe I can try to, maybe if I break this up with some of my sprayed edges, because it looks cool having them kind of all in one spot, but I think it might do me good, might be better. That's what I meant to say. It might be better if I spread them out a little bit and use them as like, I really want a shelf to be symmetrical. That's what I'm, this is taking a lot longer than I thought. think we're finally on the home stretch. I had so much difficulty trying to figure out where to place everything, but I think I've got somewhat of a good system. And I say somewhat very lightly because it's very, very, very somewhat. I really like how I have a dragon shelf up here. All of these books up here are about dragons, have dragons in them, whatever. And I wanted to put my little dragon stuffy out there again because I had him kind of pushed off to the side because there was no room for him. So I'm really glad that I put him back on there. Comment what I should name the dragon. I don't have a name for him yet. Him, her? Yeah, it's a her. She's giving strong, independent woman vibes. And then I have this just random stack of indie actually, no, this is an ARC copy of a dystopian book, but all of these are like indie copies. So I think I might just like to the side. I need to do like a little YA section, which it's not very big because I don't really read YA books. If you know anything about me, I just think that a lot of them read way too young. I'm okay with a YA book if it doesn't feel like it was written for a 14-year-old. And Hunger Games doesn't feel like that. Powerless felt like that. The more time goes by, the more I don't like that series. I liked the first one. Second one, I thought I liked it, but then after like more reflection, I was like, actually that was terrible. The third one, I almost DNF'd. I think the only book that I liked was Powerful. And I don't plan on reading Fearful. Should I just get rid of my Powerless? Yeah, I might just get rid of these because I don't want to try to have to fit them on my shelf. There's a couple books that I'm deciding to unhaul, which I do that every so often. I had 2 copies of, what is it called? Where'd it go? Warrior Princess Assassin, which I actually just read, and it was fine. I gave it 4 stars, but it's one of those where I'm looking back on it and I'm like, yeah, I don't think it deserves 4 stars. I think it's gonna be a 3.5 or a 3. No, I think I rated it 3.5. No, I never did a review of it on my social media because I gave it a 3.5. I think on my Goodreads it's rated as a 4 though, so it was fine. I just felt like nothing was happening. And I had 2 copies of it because I have the Fairy Loot copy, which I'm gonna keep that one because it's really pretty and I might continue the series. That one might be something that I unhaul later. I know I'm rambling at this point, but I'm also at a point where I'm like, I don't know if I love this or I hate this. I think I'm just gonna try to throw everything on there, and maybe if I see it from like almost done, then I can kind of make a decision of whether or not whether or not I like it, because I have 5 shelves still clear and I have books over there that I'm gonna put on like a bottom shelf because I'm gonna sell them. But I really don't know if I'm gonna be able to fill these shelves out and make them look pretty. This is proving to be a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be. I don't know what to think. I actually, like, standing from afar, I think I like it. And I think it's just because these are all of my books. And I love that I was able to somewhat fill out the shelves. I think I am going to leave these little spaces free for bookends and maybe some little trinkets, because also down here on this shelf, I tried to do some sort of like epic fantasy, higher fantasy little corner, but obviously those are not high fantasy, and I just had these random 3 books that are not completed yet, or I don't have the rest of the books, and then I had another gap, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna just throw my candle gnome over there. Like I said, I think these are gonna change kind of off and on, almost probably every month, but I think I've put enough space there to where if I need to, when and if I need to move it, I can. And for example, I'm going to get the rest of the Lady of Darkness series on Amazon, so I am going to buy all of those, and then this will just be one spine to spine. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't like that my Lee Bardugo stuff is up here, but that's another one of those, like, there was an empty space and I'm gonna put it there because if I'm doing bookends on this one, I don't want to do it also on this one. But then I was thinking, I was like, okay, well, maybe down there where I put my gnome in those 3 other books, I can take those off and get a bookend there, because also I don't want it to just be that one shelf that I've tried to like keep a lot of space on. But I think they look pretty good, and I'm happy that I have enough books to where it doesn't feel super empty. Now this shelf is my fairy loot shelf. I am currently reading this book called The Bone Raiders, which came in my epic fantasy subscription, so I'm actually going to take that back out, but I put it there so I could visualize kind of how this would look. And these are like some of my favorite fairy loot editions that I have, so when I get more, which I should be getting my September one pretty soon, usually I get them between like the 22nd and the 26th, like there's a couple days of like shipping delays, but I think I'm gonna leave it. I think I'll probably sleep on it, and if I absolutely hate it, then I might just completely change it back to what it was, because now all of my Loungefly books are on the floor and that bothers me. I mean, I guess I could put like a Loungefly here for now. I might actually do that and then put the rest of them on the top of the shelf, but I also have the Marauders. Guys, this is too much. This is too much. That is all that I have for you, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. If you have made it all the way to the end of this video, like I said earlier, give me a name for my dragon. That's what I want to know. Comment some ideas for dragon names and let me know if I'm like missing anything, or if I'm just like blind to how this looks and you're like, Brooke, this actually looks terrible, you should completely redo it. Be so honest with me. Please don't be afraid to tell me how it is. But anyways, I will see you next time, my friends.